I have a 1-year-old. Well, she's 18 months, and yes, I know I'm over 40, and yet that's a conversation for a whole nother day. But she spiked a temp today, and when we were notified, we said, hey, let's try the Tylenol, see if it comes down, and it didn't. She didn't feel good. My husband came home and called her pediatrician, and her pediatrician was able to get her in within like an hour. We love her pediatrician. And of course, by the time she gets to the doctor with her dad, she's jumping off the wall. She's completely fine. Her temp has gone down, and she's good. Her ears look good. Not like everything is good. So they leave. And a few hours later, I get a call, and my husband tells me, hey, I know you're still at work, but I'm taking her to the emergency room. I'm like, wait, what? What happened? And so he tells me that her fever came back. He's given her some Motrin. It's just not, she's not feeling well. She's lethargic, and she's just not herself. He knows, mamas and daddies, they know when there's something wrong with their kids. And so I say, well, instead of the emergency room, let's try the urgent care for kids. Let's go there first. And so he does. And of course, just as it happened earlier, by the time she gets there, she's fine. She wants a snack, and she wants to say, hey, and baby, because she's heard me say that before. It's cute, and she is busy, and everybody says she's going to keep us young, but she really just keeps us tired. Why am I telling you about my 1-year-old? Because as I was sitting there in that urgent care for kids, for children, for people who are under 18, they are all there with their guardians, their parents, mamas and daddies who are concerned, and some of them holding their kids who have red faces and runny noses. All I could think about was the number of mamas and daddies who would have to start driving hours in order to receive care. See, I live in Mississippi. In Mississippi, we have 82 counties, and of those 82 counties, a large portion of them will be directly affected by the Big Beautiful Bill. And I know today is day one of this current government shutdown, and I've heard all of the messaging around it. I've heard it called the Schumer shutdown, and I've heard that Democrats are demanding $1 trillion so that they can provide Medicaid to illegal aliens, and I've heard it all. A friend of mine called me earlier because she said, I'm not as engaged in politics as you are, but I was sitting here and I was watching Fox News, and I am so mad. This is obviously not the truth. I said, yeah, I know. There are so many people who will be directly affected. So many mamas and daddies who will be frantic, just like my husband was when he saw that something was wrong with our 1-year-old. They will be doing everything in their power, likely driving at speeds that are not legal, giving medicine and providing ice compresses, and God forbid they have an accident and break a limb. It will be absolutely devastating. And both senators here in the state of Mississippi voted for this bill. They said it's because it would cost Mississippi taxpayers more. We're going to do that. They know it was a lie. I mean, the facts show it. The facts state that it was a lie. Everybody has seen the nice little chart that shows that if you are at the bottom of the income earning scale, which most Mississippians are, you will in fact see an increase in your taxes based on the Big Beautiful Bill. Once you start making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, then you will get a really big tax break. But they voted to pass it anyway, knowing that it would directly affect hospitals, clinics, urgent care centers, some of which are the only source of medical care for hundreds of miles. It's going to be catastrophic. And I get it. I get that it's entertaining to watch things and get riled up. And that's what it is. It's entertainment. Every deposition that the owners of that station have ever given, they have always denied culpability because they say it is not news. They are not providing information. They are providing entertainment. Yet some of you will base life-altering decisions off of the entertainment you are receiving. The entertainment that is designed to keep you infuriated and enraged. I have said before, but I will say it again. I will never forgive George W. Bush because most of you should have been left behind. I get that there has been a huge push against education. There have been barriers put in place to prevent further education, specifically in places like the South. You think that everything else is the problem. And I know why, because you sit in front of a box that will tell you your vision and tells you everything that is wrong with your vision through that television has to do with someone else and not with you. They say hardworking Americans can't get good jobs because all of the illegal aliens come in and take them. But what they don't tell you is that you can't get the job because you don't want to do the work. What they do not tell you is that you can't get the job because you are not qualified, because you are a part of the more than 50% of Americans who are functionally illiterate. You do not read or comprehend beyond the 6th grade level. And so, of course, they are not going to hire you for something that requires reading comprehension skills, for you to be able to read and analyze and disseminate information. You're not getting it because you're not qualified. But we don't want to talk about qualifications. It is always someone else. It is DEI or affirmative action or the illegal aliens. It is always someone else. Never responsibility, never reflection. I understand, because when you can stay enraged, when you can stay riled up based on the actions of other people, you never have to take actual responsibility. The reason that some of you will get online and be all big and bad and bold and talk about what you are not going to buy for your kids' school. How dare these other parents need to provide their own school supplies? You can say that because you don't value education either. Do you know what I do when my kids' teachers email, when they send notes home? I send the stuff. I go to the Amazon wish list and I buy the stuff. Not because every kid is not going to be buying something, but because I do not want a barrier to my child's education to be a $12 book or a $7 pack of pencils or markers or whatever it is that they need. My son's teacher emailed about a different way she wanted to teach a math lesson that involved donuts, and she literally arranged the entire classroom with a donut theme, and she sent an Amazon wish list, and I bought the stuff because I understand that education is important. And what you will not ever say about my children is that they are uneducated. What you will not ever say is that they are unqualified, because I have black children. They will always be viewed as underqualified, and so they must be more, because they don't get to point the fingers. They don't get to blame someone else. They don't get to blame their lack of success on some boogeyman who crossed the border or who has darker skin. They have to be the best. They don't get the opportunity to scapegoat someone else. So I buy the stuff. I push education. I educate my own children, because that is what is important. Because I do not want them fleeced by sitting in front of a box that tells their vision, and they see no hope. They see no future, because they are listening to lies, because they have bought into the propaganda, and they don't know the difference between federal funding and state allocation. They don't understand that undocumented immigrants can't receive federal funding because they don't understand how laws work, how the government works. My children will not ever make life or death decisions based on entertainment.